Baby, it's springtime, which means the breeze is blowing, your bitch is hoeing. Oh, my boner is growing. Wait a minute, that's not how it goes. Now, I'm sure some of you are aware that AnimeJapan 2025 just finished up. Well, it finished a few weeks ago. Look, this stuff is still relevant, hopefully. It's a matter if I get this posted before May. Back on top. If you're not caught up with what's going on, that's why I'm here. AJ25 pretty much told everyone Japan needs a girlfriend. And I would bet it has something to do with their audience trying to wake up in a new world. Huh?
No, stop! Wait!
Please, no more. Do y'all ever be doing that thing where you look in your fridge like 6-7 times in a day, knowing you won't find anything and somehow leaving more disappointed than when you first looked in there? Yeah, Fragrant and every other isekai released is pretty much all we've had in the fridge for the last—
I mean, I've been here for 5 years, but it's felt more like 6, 7.
But now the time has come, and so have I. Cause I know I can at least trust my dress-up darling. Oh my god. To show and not tell me what to look at. So if you've been as hungry as I am, and are looking for a reason to start this year's shows, and you don't mind the sarcastic platitudes, or maybe a little sexual tension, then I'm sure even you will be able to find something to fill that tiny hole of yours. And while we work to do that, I'm going to be starting with the animes currently releasing, since if you're like me, you probably have already started watching some of them, and if you think I've missed something, I didn't. Shut up. I made the fucking video. If it's not here, it's not relevant. Why couldn't it have been me? Arumao ga shinu made. I'm not doing it that way again. Once upon a witch's death, about 17-year-old Meg Raspberry, who's living her nightmare, or dream, cause what the fuck are you supposed to do after 18? Oh look, even she's confused. She's so real. Don't worry guys, that whole dying in a year thing was just clickbait. Her teacher lets her know after she can just collect 1,000 tears of joy and she'll be chilling. Apparently this makes the seed of life, which is needed to save her before her 18th birthday or she's gonna get Thanos'd. Not the most interesting premise, but it looks cute I guess. Oh, and I'd like to volunteer my seed of life to Inori, thanks. The Too Perfect Saint. Tossed aside, I am not reading all of this every time. Now, the Too Perfect Saint could be called the Two Perfect Saints, you feel me? They got Philia and Mia, with Philia as the older sister, which explains why the younger one got a normal name. Philia's basically an autistic prodigy. I don't know, the synopsis called her aloof, but her sister Mia has aura levels that could be felt a country over. And together they're in there like swimwear. The only reason that they're apart is because they're both saints. And because of this guy. So I guess each country needs at least one in order to deal with creatures and disasters, and low-key, Florida might need to start moving like that too. Next. What in the old man with a young woman harem self-insert is this? From old country bumpkin to master swordsman, can we please with these Bro was living a life of peace, but this chick who he taught became hot shit, wanted some respect on Unk's name, and now he's gotta teach the jits how it's done.
But wait, there's more.
And all these girls Unk taught got her crushed cause bro's wood swinging skills, I guess, hit different. Next. What the hell are you people watching? I do not know shit about Black Butler, and I promise it won't be in my Spring Impressions video. I can tell you the Emerald Witch arc involves them going to Germany. Hold on. Why does she look extra small? I'm not sure if they've done that before. I don't know what that means, but I hope y'all like it, cause I'm moving on now. What the hell, that's annoying. Compass 2.0 is an anime adaptation of this Japanese mobile game. Now, the animation doesn't look that crazy, but the studio does have a couple releases I imagine some of you are at least familiar with. Quick pause, but I seen this when I was editing. I don't know if it's an Easter egg or a mistake, but I thought I'd show y'all. If you do check this out or play the game, let me know about it in the comments or something. I'm kind of curious, but I probably won't watch it. Now this next one's a twofer. Lock in.
降伏しなよ麦わら
Ooh, shit! That's cool as hell! One Piece is finally off hiatus. Unfortunately, before I touch on that, One Piece in Love, or Koi Suru One Piece, came out right before the anime returned. So I'm starting with that first. Koi Suru One Piece is a little gag. You know, a goofy, silly little show that is just kind of coming out to lead up to Egghead. I guess it's a parody, or like a romantic comedy parody. Kind of just reading that one off. But the person who wrote Koisuru One Piece, Daiki Ihara, decided they wanted to reimagine how One Piece was interpreted through the lens of high schoolers. Our main three cast all sharing names to the Straw Hats. The main character, Luffy Yamamoto, Nami Koyama, or Koyama, I don't know. And then third wheel One Piece fan, not my words, the synopsis, Usopp Nakatsugawa. The manga short, originally dropping in June 2018, ended up going on hiatus late 2021. Ihara took a break, wanting to focus on their own works, did eventually promise that he would come back to work on the project. Now, the article says that while Jump editorial team had encouraged Ihara to return and finish that story, I can't help but think after what happened to Jujutsu Kaisen Season 2, that they went and just like kidnapped his family, and they're like, you better get the fuck in here, dude. We need this One Piece. I wanna know how my rom-com fucking ended, bro. And what's even funnier about that is the first episode of this short released April 1st on April Fools, which is just insane. It's released in a vertical form, as you guys see, so all you doom-scrolling iPad kids that need 4 hours to fall asleep will be able to binge this at night. The episodes are short. You can check more information out or where to watch it at this website. I will link it, but if there's something where it's not, I mean, the title is right there. So I posted the fucking sauce. So if you don't see it, it's your fault. Nah, at this point, they're just flexing the fact that these fuckers can animate, cause what the hell? They found out a new studio was gonna remake One Piece and they're like, nah, let's show these idiots how ungrateful they are. But like, we just aren't. This show has looked abysmal for most of its runtime, and I'm not quite ready to forgive what it did to me during Dressrosa. So, Egghead Part 2 looks incredible, but I don't have a lot to say about this. I will catch up once Egghead is done. It looks good, but the One Piece panel had a lot more than just the anime being talked about at AJ25. So to start, if you weren't aware, Frankie did get a new voice actor. Kimbara Subaru took the stage with the other cast members since being confirmed at Jump Festa 25 when Yao Kazuki announced that he would be stepping down due to his declining health. That must explain why Frankie wasn't getting much screen time since Dressrosa started. Okay. In addition to the return of the show this April, the live action season 2 had a brief mention that filming had finished, and since I'm late, the trailer also just recently dropped for that, so maybe go check that out. The Wit Studio remake with Netflix also got acknowledged, probably to remind people that it is in production since the last time it got talked about was Jump Festa 24. Other news mentioned at the event, One Piece had a crossover with one of the German football clubs. Borussia Dortmund's mascot Emma and Chopper promoted this collab on March 30th. These things right here were available in a goodie bag that if you do want it, you might be able to find online somewhere, but you're probably not finding an official site selling it. Sorry, guys. For anyone who can speak Japanese, or understand it at least, there is a One Piece radio show called Mugiwara no Ichimi no All Night Nippon Gold. I guess that this is something that happened before. It returned May 9th. It airs from 10 p.m. to midnight, which means it's like 13 hours from us. You do the math. Also, One Piece Day got its confirmation. It's in early August if you're going to be in Japan, and they got a new store in Shinjuku, Tokyo, known as One Piece Base Shop, which should be opening 2025 winter. That's it for One Piece. Let's keep it steppin'.
ということですか。
Apothecary Diaries, fuck. Don't you guys say a damn word. I am not caught up. I don't have footage from the panel, but they just kind of talk about that specific episode. Y'all like how I just baited you with the no spoilers and then I spoiled it? Don't worry, I didn't show the important thing. But I know you all know because my TikTok feed did not fuck off. Regardless, Apothecary Season 2, I don't know why they call it Core 2, but the second part of the season is airing this spring, obviously, as it's pretty much summer now, which means Season 2 is almost over. So that means I'm gonna binge it when I have time, hopefully. Because I want to review these 2 seasons in August, which hopefully gives it enough time to have Season 3 confirmed. Because this show is Gas City. And if you don't know what that means, you shouldn't watch the show. Because this was made for the girls, by the girls. I don't care who wrote it. It's for the baddies. I'll do one for the boys next. This show is ass. 3 cast members showed up to reveal a season 2 teaser to announce 2 additional actors being brought on for the role of these brothers. Soma Saito and Kazuki Yura from 5 frames per second lock join up in Midbreaker for a big brawl. I never was able to get past the first 2 minutes of season 1.
What?
The season 2 trailer is kinda cooking though, but I was saying that about the first season and then I was turning the episode off. This show has ass. Wait, are we still making fun of that? Why are you asking me? I don't watch that. If you were interested, the Netflix panel showcased the trailer for Fire Force's final season during their fan service discussion. Fire Force? Nah, I am bored. Next. Yo, Punisher finally got an anime, and it's PG-13? Whoa. Jokes aside, this show's looking tough. The art and animation looks more stylized with the same refinement of the main show, and I can't lie, it looks pretty good. For the panel, Junichi Suabe, who's been at a minimum 2 of your favorite characters in all of anime, hosted the main cast of Vigilantes where they revealed the ending song for the show, Speed by Yutari, which kinda bangs. And the manga artist revealed this special illustration for the convention. This doesn't count as a spring release, but it came out in spring, so you can suck my toes. Aldnoah Zero had a brief reunion at AJ25, and the big takeaway was this new series box set that released March 26. The box set comes with this new episode titled Fragments of the Rain, which you can potentially get from Amazon Japan. You will have to cover the international shipping cost. If you can get it shipped to you, it should take your card. I bought this issue of Comic Alive back in April, and it shipped to me pretty quickly. Got the shit in like 2 days. Mobile Suit Gundam Jikyaku, I don't know if that's right, is the continuation of the Jikyaku movie, which is just a theatrical compilation of the first few episodes from the show. Starting there could save you time if you care about that. The stage just gave us this visual and the series trailer to promote the spin-off, but this anime was the first to be a collaboration between Studio Khara, which is known for the Evangelion series, and Sunrise, which gave us Gundam, so if you like this genre, this might be something to check out. Yo, that looked kinda tough, but this is the context of that scene. Why is it forming like that? It fell on his head. Brought to you by an overworked studio and creators that don't get enough praise from us Westerners. Moon makes my head right. Hold on, everybody, keep it in their pants. I'll get there. I'm saving you for later. Moonrise is about a very real, near-future scenario if ICE succeeds at deporting those colors. People follow rules for a peaceful lifestyle, and if you don't have 2 cents when buying your milk,
2 cents. We're talking about 2 cents.
they're just gonna assume you're stealing because the world is managed by an AI that makes rational decisions. The AI decided people who pollute the earth or cause people problems gots to go. Following Jacob, but he actually goes by Jack, not Jake. If you are actually named Jacob and you go by Jack, you can block me. Because Jack lost some people close to him due to a terrorist bombing because the moon is basically modern day California, if that makes sense. I had to meme this concept. It seems a lot of you thought it was a joke after watching it. If I'm going off the trailer alone, it's really well made. It showcases the animation and camera work extremely well. But off that, let's speed this up and get to summer. Princess Orchestra is an original story by Studio Silverlink. It will be on a continuous 4-core run or a 48 to 52 episode run. Hey look, I figured out what core meant. This Princess Magic song series looks like it's for kids and weirdos who will buy the figures for hundreds of dollars. Classic stars. Another song fighting school anime for kids probably. And maybe the girls, since it's animated by Studio Platinum Vision, is led by Pretty Boys No Ippo. Homeboy Beethoven got his shit clocked cause these streets historically accurate. And an album associated to the series dropped May 21st called Beyond Classic. My Boshi Witches is another coming of age magic schoolgirl show. It's animated by Studio Sunrise and the premise is giving Princess and the Frog. But this frog is recruiting 5 bored high school girls for the love of the game. I think he wants to put on a concert. Rock is a lady's modesty cause that's what's up. Prim and proper girls in the outdoors and crash out metalheads indoors? Words from my homeboy Bruno. That's what I like. That's what. A Ninja and an Assassin Under One Roof by Studio Love Stroking My Chef is about a cute girl and a sexy girl who live together and commit some devious acts. I don't know, it's got cute girls or something, so go watch it. The Mononoke Lecture Logs, which is animated by the same studio that brought us Days with My Stepsister, now has a late 1940s supernatural mystery. For an up-and-coming studio, I think the characters and setting look sick. I'm also personally just a fan of post-World War II stories, and I think there's some vibes to be had here off the art alone. I am hopeful it will be more visually dynamic than Days with My Stepsister because I really like when the mystery is sold with good visual storytelling. With the release of Shoshimin Season 2, which is a school life mystery anime very similar to Hyoka, but this MC likes to get into problems where Areki just wants to sit where the grass grows and the breeze blows. The panel also revealed that the anime will be part in the 3rd Oshitabi collaboration. Oshitabi is loosely translated to a fan's journey, which allows fans to have unique themed engagement with different forms of entertainment that they consume. And it's through the transportation companies like JR Central that tend to facilitate these collaborations between series or creators which provide these uniquely crafted travel experiences. So if you're going to be visiting Japan and you didn't know this existed, leave a like or comment to let me know, but I'll also be providing a link or two to help you get an idea of what to be looking for during your visit if this is something that interests you. Licorice Recoil instead of Season 2, Friends Are Thieves of Time, decided to scam us with this mini-series of 6 micro-penis length episodes and these visuals to go along with it, and they really had the audacity to release this weekly and not all together. Visually it looks great, but I want Season 2. Fate Strange Fake, animated by A1 Pictures, revealed new character visuals as well as an actor known as Gakuta Kajiwara for the character Sigma. And why did that have to be his name? This version of Fate is another whacked out Grail War because the US decided they wanted to get involved. The animation looks a little weird, but it also is stylized in a way that I like, so I'm torn on how to have a first impression of this. Not relevant to AJ25, but episode 1 got early released on Crunchyroll's YouTube back in November. Aharen-san had a brief mention at the con in relation to its Season 2 release back in April. So if you've been waiting for that, it's out. And something most Western viewers probably don't know is that the anime has a radio show associated to it known as Hikaru Radio. It's hosted by some of the Japanese voice cast, including the actress for Aharen. I'll provide some links to that stuff, but it's on you to figure out how to understand it. Summer Pockets, animated by Studio Feel, will be airing for 2 consecutive cours, means that it will be airing through the summer. The panel revealed that alongside the anime adaptation of the visual novel, that there would be a manga adaptation of it too. A Twitter artist, and I think Vocaloid named Wogura, will be the one that's taking on the project. The manga will be available on Shueisha's Tonari no Young Jump website. The trailer was kind of giving summertime render vibes, but if you turned it into a slice of life romance, and if you took out the gruesome death. I'm gonna regret this. Please, 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 please put them on Takamine-san, which is animated by Studio Leiden Films and might just be the most insane anime I have ever seen announced at a convention like this. The anime revealed 2 versions of its trailer, a healthy version and a gentleman's one, and that still isn't as insane as Crunchyroll owning the license. That action for sure won't have consequences, so if you're not 18, don't watch this. And if you are 18, this show is about a girl who, if she takes her underwear off, can undo the past. But if she does it, the underwear just disappears. She grabs this loser, calls him her closet, and then makes bro put the underwear on her. And I don't know what upsets me more. The fact that I know some people wish this would happen to them, or that this looks better animated than Tokyo Ghoul Season 2. Mono is a photography and film-based anime with for sure cute slice-of-life travel and exploration vibes. It was presented at the con with a special video that unfortunately, I could not find footage for. So here's this video instead. Food for the Soul. Looks really cute. This was one of the shows where I seen the trailer and thought, oh yeah, this year anime stepped it up. It's just another slice of life cute girls doing cute things show, but just off the trailer, it has vibes I really enjoy. The characters off design alone have such a magnetic presence. Couple that with the colors, it's got a college setting, and then you're gonna tell me it's about food? Dude, come on, this show's gonna hit. Spoiler alert. It does. Kowloon generic romance written by a fantastic romantic mangaka, but also a very weird one. This is probably Arvo Animation's best work in my opinion. And the only way you would not think that is if you're living under a rock. Like, dude, have you seen the art? This shit is so stylized. It is gorgeous. I love that the show has an old look to it, but then it's polished. It looks new. It looks clean. And I'm probably one of the people with the hot take that I don't really care for the old style. It's just not my thing. But I think it encaptures this atmosphere so well. But enough glazing. The panel also reminded people that there's a live action adaptation coming out at some point this year. I've got nothing to add to a movie trailer like that, but this was another show that reminded me anime just might be back. Now let's wrap up the spring season.
Back to formula.
Jump into the night, 'cause now it's trouble.
This is the show I have been impatiently waiting to talk about. To Be Hero X, the most self-glazed show that was announced at this event. And it's the only show that's not considered an anime. It is a donghua. Before the event even happened, the production team released individual trailers for the top 10 heroes. And I've got to respect that hustle. I fully believe people should be keeping their expectations in check. But the way the team promotes the show while it's airing gives me hope that season 2 will be that much of a step up if the show doesn't do exactly how they think it's gonna do. This is an anthology series, so that means it's not a connected story. All of the stories take place around each other, but each character involved has their own arc. People and their social statuses are influenced by this thing called trust. Your trust value is determined by how much you can make an impact on the people that you come into contact with. And that trust value can change at any time. Think analytics. If you're not able to keep the people interested, then they're not gonna trust you. And on that note, if you've been interested in the video so far, feel free to hit that subscribe button, that like button, or leave a comment letting me know that. Or you can tell me that you fucking hate it. I'll laugh. And with that, we're done with spring. Now we can start the season of romance. I mean sequels. Whatever, it's basically the same thing.
派手にやってくれたわあのボケ
Don't think about Alia's feet, don't think about Alia's feet, don't think about... Kaiju number 8 is back. We got some dope visuals in this trailer from the panel, and when I say Kaiju number 8 is one of the fastest shows I have finished, I mean it, dude. And the fact this season is releasing only a year after season 1 makes me so happy. I know this is kind of back to back. I'm not really trying to tell you to watch shows with this video, but you should go watch this if you haven't. But don't watch this stupid movie. It's just recap. You can watch the extra episode that came out with it, but if you want to know how, go sail the seas or something. I can't help. Reincarnated as the 7th Prince. If you think I'm reading that out, you're lost on planes of existence outside our reality. Pass me whatever you are on. They revealed the new season 2 trailer, and unfortunately we are not free of isekais just yet, but with this year we're getting damn close. And I really don't know why they keep pumping these out, because the animation is always just looking real sloppy. So now I'm gonna touch on an anime that doesn't need the budget and has it anyway. My Dress Up Darling got that shit on. And period, because how did they make me like a shy MC? I hate this stupid simping gremlin, bro. Review at the end of July or after season 4, we'll see. I don't know why they gotta be doing all this with the animation. Cloverworks is trying to get me falling for anime girls or something, bro. Why the hell are you looking at me like that? Stop, bro. I just know season 2 is about to hit harder than the first. If y'all familiar with the manga, the anime low-key got this looking right from the trailer alone. If you can't tell, I really like this show. And if you like this show too, like this video. The panel also made a mention about the Japanese voice actor for Gojo returning for apparently another season of a Dress Up Darling side series called The Main Character Voice Actor Sews Clothes. Dude, a bunch of anime have these like parallel running series that go along with their shows. I'm so perplexed by it, but low-key, I think it's so cool that the actors participate in stuff like that. But I'm getting too distracted. The anime also has a radio show that you can check out at this channel called Random Translation. But just season 1, obviously. It also seems they haven't uploaded in over a year. So, they might not do season 2. I don't know. If you do want to see the things in regards to these side series I'm talking about, they'll be available in a doc that I'll link, but I can't promise I'm gonna get them all. I'm gonna do my best, but I'm just one guy. To conclude, this show has really stepped it up visually when it really did not need to, but I'm really glad it did, and it looks like it's gonna be fairly manga accurate. This is for sure something to throw on your plan to watch if you haven't even seen season 1 yet. I still haven't started Sakamoto Days, mainly because I knew part 2 was dropping this summer. We got this visual for season 2, as well as a reminder of their mobile game, Dangerous Puzzle, that dropped April 2nd of 2025. I caught this while I was editing the clip. Just look at this for a second. Do you see what they did there? That is so cool. I have such an appreciation for animating techniques like this. They didn't really need to make this a one-take style shot, but they did because they could, and it's so neat. Some of the cast members commented on the special ending of episode 8 in season 1, and to avoid spoilers, I did not look into that any further. You could do that yourself if you've seen it, or if you just like ruining things. Looking forward to having this on a rainy day, not gonna lie. I've heard mixed reviews from my friends. Some like it, some think it's mid, and I have a feeling I'm just gonna have fun. The fact Dr. Stone has been able to be consistent with releases for the last 6 years is impressive, but all good things come to an end, and Dr. Stone is on its final 2 parts. And if you ask me, the only good thing about this is that it's coming to part 2 of 3 will be airing in July, and the third still does not have confirmation, but I thought I'd give you Dr. Stone fans that little update since there wasn't that much said at AJ25. It looks like it always does, so if you've liked it up to now, you'll probably keep liking it. And if that's the case, y'all's summer up too. Guys, I need you to hear me out. Panty and stocking, but in drag. Studio Trigger, which is one of the most underrated studios if I'm being honest, picked up this 2010s gem back in 2024 from Gainax. Trigger should have always been the one making the show. They're just the perfect studio for making this eccentric stylistic animation work. Oh, and it was announced that the original cast will be back too. Grand Blue, which is one of the funniest mangas you can read, getting a season 2 for its anime is a blessing you could not prepare me for. Hell Teacher, Jigoku Sensei, Noob. Shut up, I know it's Noob. We got another Rugrats looking animation, huh? Nah, I'm playing. This is one of the better looking action shows coming this summer. I haven't looked at everything since I'm focused on the shows from AJ25. Noobe's just playing in my once. Let a man live. Those that like the 90s manga, congratulations. It's coming back. Or I guess it, is back now. They dropped a one-shot for the manga in April, and the re-release started in May. Togen Anki is an anime I have extremely tame expectations for. Its cast, key visuals, and trailer were revealed at AG25. This trailer gives me a lot of hope, making me want it to do really well, but I don't want to go into it and ending up with another Angels of Death. I'm sure you can see the predicament I'm in here. The trailer was kind of giving tuning exam vibes, which made me keep watching the trailer, and I guess the effects are a little hit or miss, but when they're hit, they look pretty cool. I like the aesthetic, but the 3D, I'm gonna need to see the completed project. The summer Hikaru died. What the hell? There's a lot of horror this. I deadass don't even know how to start talking about this. The trailer has made me feel many things that I have not felt from anime in a while. Now, I'm not a horror guy. A horror guy. Horror. I don't like the scary stuff. But let me explain. It's certain aspects of unnerving that I just don't really like. If you've seen The Substance, that's a very good example of something on paper checks all of my boxes if we're talking the chilly willies, but I haven't watched it, and it's because it's too damn weird. It's the best way I can describe it. It just makes me uncomfortable, and I don't like that. When I'm watching something, I want to relax, and I can't do that if I'm thinking about what it would feel like to have open heart conscious surgery. All that to say, the summer Hikaru dies has that unsettle me sauce that I like. And this imagery, it looks very good. I have chosen not to read the synopsis, and I'm not going to. I want to go into this blind. Necronomico and the cosmic horror show animated by Studio Gokumi, who is notoriously consistent for mid-stories with some... Honestly, I'm not about to lie, they got some nice visuals. Do we think Necronomico is going to be the difference maker? I have no idea. The trailer actually doesn't tell me that much. It does make me think about the fact that this is a fairly abstract art style for the studio, so that's kind of cool. I can pick up from the trailer that it looks like another Danganronpa. I like those visuals more though. Too bad that show is ass. Not sure why this was on the same article, but Cygames, the parent company of Cygames Pictures, is partnering with Shochiku Entertainment to lead the Kagurabachi anime adaptation. And if you don't know what that means, it's something to get excited for, because Cygames Pictures got some crazy shows under their belt. Now let me tell you a secret of the Silent Witch. It's animated by the same studio as On the lowest key, this looks more enticing to me than Necronomico does, and I'm pretty sure it's my lizard brain going, "The dragons aren't CG? What?" Oh, and this girl's character design's pretty cool. I like it. The visuals aren't that stand out, but when this girl has her hood on, she looks low-key so cool. Might actually be an okay fantasy watch for once. The fuck is this? Shoot, this got comedic potential. While not providing anything visually stellar to the table, this remarkably short trailer is showcasing a lot of comedic gold. I want to say more on it too, but there's not that much to add. The trailer is really funny, which is why I left my recording going while I was watching it, but these key visuals are neat if you're into that. Clevitas. Clevitas? Clevitas. Looks metal as fuck. What's got Japan feeling so nostalgic? They've got so many animes using that old style. It's cool, don't get me wrong. I just want to know why it's so prominent this year specifically. Like I said, anime is low-key back this year. Dude, just look at that trailer. Don't close your eyes, come here. You're safe. You sitting? Now look. Look right there. That's called motherfucking boy! The show looks tough, alright? And I wish I could play this song for you. The opening theme is so good. For the little triplet fantasy thing we just did, this one looks the best. It's not close. When it comes to me and fantasy anime, we don't really get along, or at least recently. Fantasy is usually one of my favorite genres. Anime just has sucked at making that. It makes sense this looks good though. If you're at all familiar with his past works, Yuji Iwahara, the creator of King of Thorn and Dimension W, is the one that wrote this. Someone want to explain why the Chainsaw Man movie needs 12 character visuals? Nah, my Maharaga fight suffering for this Gooner shit about to have me become an Avengers level threat. The animators at MAPPA don't gotta worry about finishing these shows. I'ma just go have a little chat with the execs. On another note, I really liked both these key visuals they dropped. They're super neat. In that same breath, the art style for the movie is a massive upgrade. It has so much more personality, and it has a lot more personality than all of the characters in the show, so I like that. You know, I had to throw one in there. Reze's design is actually pretty good too. Same with Denji's chainsaw mode. The panel actually did give us something more useful than just the trailer. We got the release date of September 19th of this year. I don't know if that's worldwide or if that's just Japan, but it doesn't say. And I can't find it. Doga Kobo animating Captivated by You is so par for the course with this studio. The manga originally starting as a doujin back in 2019 before getting published, then being animated by Doga Kobo is so funny to me with the context. They got goofy shows in their resume, bruh. I don't know what to tell you. With the cool key visual, trailer, and also the release of its rhythm game back in March, Kamitsubaki City Under Destruction brought an unfortunate realization, depending on who you are, that this anime is done in 3D. And I know I ragged that earlier, so I'll explain myself. The concept seems neat if we're just concerning the game, which is about AI girls being awakened after the apocalypse, and how those girls make melodies with you to make the world go round. You should notice where the problem starts, and if you don't, you can disregard what I'm saying. I'm just a picky eater, so I end up finding it hard when animes use 3D as an art style rather than when the budget demands it. I can ignore isolated scenes, but anime just doesn't utilize 3D in the same way that things like Arcane or Spider-Verse do. The utilization of 3D is so superior in comparison to when it's just used as the main source for the anime, where I just end up getting reminded of something like Genshin Impact, which might be my problem. It reminds me of hentai. Y'all been liking girl bands cry though, so this might just be up your alley. Don't worry guys, we got a prequel that's coming out alongside it, so maybe we'll get context for why it looks like that. Kyoto Animation providing us another devious work from the infamous Keiichi Arui, City the Animation, is looking like the show with the most eccentric art style for the summer. If you like Nichijou and wish you had more of it, well here you go. A broke college student with whack roommates. It's just y'all the animation. With You in the Rain is how I'm trying to be with y'all. Any takers? This show is beautiful, alright? The animation is nothing crazy, the art's not doing anything spectacular. It's about a girl who takes in a lost dog. I don't see who's gonna be getting upset by that. It looks like it's got a good vibe and the music is pretty. I think the worst part about this release is that it came out in summer and not fall. Just means I get to let it stack and binge it when it's done. Just don't get caught in the rain if you're solo camping for 2. Guts got to retire, got a cute little girl thing, and now he gets to eat... I don't know what the fuck that is. What is that? Like bacon mochi? Introduction to Mineralogy or Ruri Rocks. And let me just say, Ruri Sensei has some mountains. I'm trying it. This unbelievably gorgeous show is gonna have the mentally ill boys thinking rock girls is good for fixing them. Guys, I know they seem real cool, but she's a gold digger. Literally. See You Tomorrow at the food court is just girls getting together to crash out and then instigating it more. That is just way too realistic. This has gotta be a documentary series. I don't know why Japan insists women are incel coded, but this ankle biter loves a 2D woman. The only reason I don't find this unbelievable is that my friend's sister is obsessed with Genshin characters and I have access to Instagram and TikTok. Wow. Maybe it's not Japan that needs the girlfriend. Oh, and Watermelons in Season over here is a 2014 Tumblr girl. She likes weird stories and is crushing on a YouTuber. While those two are striking out, Turkey is looking for a three-peat. But we all know lightning doesn't strike the same place twice, so let's not start talking about a third season. Now, this does look good. Let's just start there. But it is so weird to look at. Low-key, it's giving 3D animation, but it is in 2D. It's making me sexually confused. It's a sports slice of life. I know a lot of you aren't familiar with sports. And out of all of the popular ones, bowling is not one I expected to get an anime. Matter of fact, how the fuck did it get a manga? But now that I'm thinking about it, golf got an anime earlier this year. That was fun. I liked that. What the hell am I saying? Harmony of Millefoy is also getting a piece of that 3D nonsense, and it for sure mixes 3D and 2D, but I can't really tell from the trailer whether I find it distracting or not. Regardless, it does have a cute aesthetic, the colors are vibrant, and the trailer is telling me the production is a bit more leveled up in comparison to those earlier music animes we were touching on. And when the key visuals are more stylistic and the trailer is more visually appealing, if you're an enjoyer of music anime like me, you'll probably be okay having your hopes up at least a little bit with this one. I don't remember Skip and Loafer looking like this. The 3 Mikadono sisters are surprisingly easy. It's just Run a Girlfriend's competition for Gooner Harem of the season. I mean, dude, they painted their nails for the key visual. What was I saying? We found out Run a Girlfriend Season 4 was coming out at AJ25. Got a trailer even. And I cannot wait for nothing to happen again because even the manga hasn't made any progress. I get to just sit there and appreciate... Okay. What was I saying? So we're gonna have a 24 episode season, which might mean we'll actually get some progress going on for this story, but I doubt it. They've had 3 seasons to make something happen, and they have not. 36 episodes, and the MC is the exact same as he was from the start. How do you people And from what I've been spoiled in the manga, it's no different. The only character that gets any development in the anime even is Chizuru. I don't understand how this is still getting animated. Holy shit. Watari's XXX account is about to collapse. This MC sister obsessed anime seems low-key cooler than it actually is coming off to be. The trailer does something that only can be appreciated if you understand how trailers work. I highly recommend if you haven't seen it and you like the way that this looks, to go and watch the trailer that came out from AJ25. If you've been aware that this was coming out and you're looking for reasons to want to watch it, this might give you one of them. I know nothing about the series, so I might appreciate the trailer a lot more because of that. Where having no concept of the story makes the trailer that much more engaging. You're only gonna get what I'm saying if you go see it yourself, so go do that when you get a chance. And when you do, remember to hit that like button. The fragrant flower blooms with dignity. I really wish it didn't. This was probably one of the most anticipated, if not the most anticipated romance that was coming out for summer. Obviously, it had My Dress Up Darling to compare with it, as well as Bunny Girl Senpai also releasing in the same season, which is insane, by the way. Cloverworks released 3 romance animes in a single season, 2 of which have been anticipated for literal years. One, which has had a fan base grueling, foaming at the mouth, desperate, begging on their knees for their season 2. I can only imagine that Cloverworks just passed out each project and said, all right, whoever makes the most money gets to go home and see their family. But like, actually, there's no reason for all 3 of these to look as good as they do. They all look like they could be romance of the season, of the year. I haven't really looked at the winter stuff coming out, but there's not that much information. Anime's kind of whatever about it. They're a little weird. But since I wasn't actually able to get this before summer even started, I'm gonna give you my impression of the first episode, which I think was the weakest episode 1. But I also realize that's probably not fair. These other 2 shows have credibility. This one needs to build it. But just because your episode 1 is weak doesn't mean that it sucks. Unless you're Fry. I liked it. I thought it was cute. It's a little middle school coded for sure, but it was a good foundation, is a good start, right? I'm looking forward to more. I probably would rather binge it, but I'm probably not going to be able to do that, unfortunately. Puberty Syndrome really just be hitting different with the rom-com animes, bro. Especially when it comes to the savant himself, the D1 Reze man, the true based Giga Chad of anime. My goat Sakuta. This MF really just be saying stuff.
'Cause they're like your butt?
I swear to God. Like, bro, and especially in this episode 1, this dude says some wild business, bro. Dude be going around giving CTE to every single woman he talks with, like, dog. I know we did not just let him get away with telling a middle schooler that he would like to see that when she is implying she is going to send a provocative bikini photo. Huh? And I should probably correct it because I know someone's gonna put in the comments, yes, I know that he told her to wait when she's older, and they both agreed on it. But you're fucking stupid if you're gonna give me that argument. But pivoting off a 7-year break, and yeah, there's been movies between it, but as far as season to season goes, this was a massive upgrade. And things were fine before, but the personalities were just so much more mature. I really liked that it felt like college vibes. It reminded me a lot of Golden Time, if Golden Time characters had more charisma. But with a pretty stacked summer season, this was a very good first episode and reintroduction to the series for those that don't get into the movies, which is stupidly important, by the way. Like, if you haven't seen the movies, you should probably go and do that. They're basically like an extended episode, and they're actually really relevant for the gap between the first season and where we're at in the show right now. And to conclude from that, my original thought was summer was going to be where anime started really kind of picking things up. I think that is definitely standing true with how well received a lot of the shows have been so far. The fact that summer was a release of a lot of sequels, I think just put a lot of hype around it, especially to me, because I was invested in a handful of these things well before I was even getting reinvested into anime at the beginning of this year. But off summer alone, I don't think I have the answer to the question, is anime back yet? I don't think fall is going to keep the same hype that summer has going for it, but let's see and then answer at the end. Nozia had the cast introduce themselves with characters they'd be performing as. Visual novel fans should be fiending with this info if they've been wanting to see this animated, because this looks incredible. But all these damn anime girls keep staring at me. Like, dude, I am seriously about to fold. They're for real doing too much with this budget, at least as far as the trailer's concerned. Every close-up moment they show would definitely have goosebumps running down anyone's spine. Not everything looks this clean, so who knows how it'll look when it's airing. But I am at least interested to see what this has to offer. The cast and touring after the apocalypse got themselves a little watch party with the fans as they got to see the trailer released for the first time with them. The two also talked about a bike trip they want to do, so that's neat. I love the idea of traveling an open world with some friends, getting to just see life and appreciate it with no pressures. We all for real need to get out more. The fact I gotta do this through an anime is insane. This will be a sick little weekly break for anybody getting back into school or needing a bit of a social break after the summer ends. Maybe a little reminder of how your Shut up! Or just a sick little reminder of how your summers went or plan to go if you're gonna go out and do anything with people this year. May I ask for one final thing? Another matriarchal style fantasy mystery, which was confirmed in December of 2024 to receive its anime, is looking to be equal to or at least adjacent to whatever story that aligns with the genre. AJ25 gave us a trailer with new cast members being revealed in it and for it to be released in the fall, but it's not giving me much to assume outside of the tropes I've seen in this genre before. I am just using the trailer for my reference, so I could be totally off base, and I don't like judging a book by its cover, but anime needs to rebuild that trust before I start giving it credit like that again. At the end of the day, this just isn't a story archetype that I tend to dedicate my time to. Sentenced to be a Hero, on the other hand, is a strong contrast to that. When I saw the title, I thought that I was gonna have another hero show to talk about, and it still is like that. There is just for sure more than meets the eye when looking at the trailer. These visuals looking as good as they do gives me so much hope. Things that follow the same premise that this does tend to usually lack in visuals, but everything going on is so animatic in a way that just wrinkles my brain right. Heroes in this world are a complete contrast to things like in 2B Hero X, One Punch Man, or My Hero, where those people want to be heroes because they want to do good, or they want to build their reputation, or they want a good reputation. Where in this world, if you're branded a hero, it's a punishment, not a reward. And this isn't the only significant contrasting plot point. If I just look at other anime adjacent to this, those fantasy stories come with either a strong comedic base, a generic isekai plot, or it's a fan service shit show. It's probably all the above, but I'm doing my best not to generalize. Point is, this is more stylistic compared with most fantasy series. I'd also give Clevitus that credit too. It's not an isekai. Any sexy fan service won't be shoehorned, and the comedy will likely be more real rather than the usual anime gag humor. If I wanted to explain the isekai point, that would be its own video. The isekai problem is a whole different thing. And this is getting way too long, and it's way overdue. So concluding, this and Clevitus have potential to me. These are good starts towards improving the credibility and watchability of fantasy anime. Chitose is in the Ramune bottle has a brief explanation of its story being another generic harem romance. I'm just not buying it. The trailer is giving me something a bit different. While the teaser released at AJ25 was not much to go off of, if this was another generic harem romance, we'd have easily been able to tell. So I probably do need more context to make that kind of judgment, but I don't read the light novel, and I think getting an anime with this kind of presentation would ruin any unique interpretation I would have for it if I did. I also just don't like reading, kind of why I like watching anime. And while animation can be limited in what it has to offer, it shouldn't be. And Disney no longer being limited by their Pixar animation provides Japan with the opportunity to adapt their twisted wonderland. I like Disney stories. I think they're pretty cool. I also think they're hard for people to digest with the mediums they tell them through. Honestly, it's probably more appropriate to say a less general watcher has a hard time consuming that content, since Disney is really good at making things for more general audiences, which is fine. Those are artistic choices. But this art has Disney vibes for sure, which I do think is a good thing. It separates itself enough and has some very solid visuals, and that Disney money is definitely being flexed in the animation. Too bad Visions did not get the same treat. We found out this anime is gonna run for 3 seasons, though there's no confirmation on when they all drop except for season 1 in fall. Seasons 1 through 3 covers each manga adaptation, and the 4th episode of the manga started releasing back in February. I imagine, depending on the feedback they get, there's a chance they'll continue it after episode 4 finishes. The trailer gives a neat vibe, so hopefully this is something new to try. Or maybe it won't be because it's another isekai. Can these stop? Oh my god. Reincarnated as the daughter, continuing to prove my point with the patented isekai dog-ass flat animation. We got a less than appealing teaser, and all I got from it was Spy X Family with a pocket full of sunshine. Not free yet, but it's almost over. These are almost gone. I'm begging, let this trend die. Please stop watching isekais. And we'll conclude fall with My Hero's final scene. Nah, fuck that. I can't get over the fact that this has been going on for well over 10 years. I get SAO was well liked, but there is no reason this should have continued this long, and it should have saturated the release of anime for this long. How does a story get milked like this? It's worse than the MCU. At least with the MCU, there's likable characters. I can enjoy watching a Marvel movie any time of the day because the characters are at least charismatic or charming. What is charming about this? I can go get this same fucking character in a fucking harem anime. I can watch it anywhere. What is appealing about an isekai? I don't care about being born in another world. There is just so much better fantasy out there. Game of Thrones, Vinland Saga. Okay, maybe not Game of Thrones anymore, but that's not the point. The point, like, Game of Thrones is a good book. If you like reading, it's a good fantasy read. Probably. I don't like reading like I said. Look, isekai in concept is good. Oshi No Ko was a very surprising to watch show. I very much did not expect that. I also didn't know that it was an isekai until I realized, like, the reincarnated thing is pretty much the same thing. But isekais can be good, and there can be good fantasy shows behind that. It doesn't need to be like this. There's no reason it needs to keep repeating the same old. Oh my god. I get it. If it's not broken, don't fix it. But this never worked. Nobody liked SAO. People really did not like how they delivered SAO. It was not well received. The people that liked it are the same people that get the shit for being mainstream anime watchers now. It makes no... Matter of fact, I think I just answered my own fucking question. All you dipshits that fucking came here 10 years after anime was not cool, and now it is, made this problem so exacerbated that it's legit ruined any entertainment that could be derived from this genre to somebody that wants something more introspective? I don't even think it's that, because people were dick riding the MCU for over a decade, and then people are now going, oh, I've got MCU burnout. And then the Star Wars fan base too on top of that is just the most miserable thing you can ever get engaged with. Dude, I can't. No, I can't. One Piece fans over there in their fucking corner, perma just going, oh dude, One Piece is the GOAT. Nobody wants to watch a 2,000 episode show, and not in the way that they release it. Okay, that's off point. The fact that One Piece exists, right? This is a very good fantasy, right? What does Isekai even have to compare? Why did this get so well liked? It has to be an Eastern thing, because there's nothing culturally even relevant for us as a Western audience to be engaged by this. And yet here we are, to the very... I'm gonna pull something. It is 2025. SAO dropped in 2012. And if you weren't part of the reception or just in the scene when that came out, that was the most hype shit since sliced bread, all right? The coolest thing since ice. The people that are doing what I'm doing right now was doing that back then, because episode 1 and 2 of SAO, fire. Everything else after is the most wasted potential you might have ever received in fiction. And SAO was a gold mine of potential. The concept behind it, the 100 floors, that would have made it better than One Piece, and I stand by that. You want to know why people like me didn't like it back then? It's the problem that's been going on for over a decade. It's the same stupid character with the same stupid side characters. I can't even conceptualize how this managed to last for so long. Just stop using your paid-for streaming service to watch this shit. I'm so sick of these coming out. Stop telling them you want more. I'm over it. Let's just wrap it all up. What was I doing? My Hero? I don't care. We got a teaser, and that's about it. Hopefully this won't be dragged out like it's an underdog going on a miracle run, and this shit can finally end. I am really just over the fact this is still going. It really looks like Jump is just forcing Horikoshi to add needless shit to keep this airing weekly. My Hero is cool, but it is not 8 seasons, 4 movies, and 4 OVAs cool. Real talk, how they storyboard their fight scenes and the stories they tell with them is just unparalleled. I really hope other studios take notes from that. Bones set a standard that can't be easily met with just pretty visuals and good sound design. I mean this genuinely when I say I hope season 8 is wrapped up in a nice, concise, and neat way with a cute little bow to conclude a very celebrated series. Now for the leftovers, and then with everything that I've shown you up to now, we will answer the question, is anime back? I'm doing the isekais first. I'm sick of talking about these things. This fat, sad sack of shit that turned pretty boy because you can't be happy if you're fat is getting a TV special. At least this one's animation looks like they're putting some budget into it. This key visual is pretty tough too. Mushoku Tensei. I hate all of you fans. Season 3 is announced, or at least it was mentioned that it's in earnest production. I don't got a whole lot with this one, chat. If you were hoping for ReZero content, Season 4 is confirmed. AJ25 just wasn't what confirmed it. This girl named Shala was revealed sometime in May, and it's got a 2026 release date. This is the best I can do until we get closer to that. How did this get a Season 2? Chain Soldier Season 2 got confirmed for 2026. Apparently, the writer did not like the original adaptation, so instead of Studio 7 Arcs animating it, Studio Passione, what the hell is this name? We'll be taking this on, and for some reason, it looks a lot better than Season 1. The Dragon Maid dropped a movie June 27th in Japan, and I regret to inform you that there is still not an international release date. Love Live Nijigasaki's trilogy movie had their part 2 announced for Japanese theaters on November 7th of 2025. Also with no international release date. Can they stop doing that? And I think this might be the character designs they released for the movie. So if you're into this, here you go. And an announcement for another thing Japan needs to stop doing. JJK is having a recap movie of the prequel episodes from Season 2. Why do they put budget to this? They did also give us, and I quote, the first super teaser visual. So yeah, we have confirmation that the Culling Games is getting animated right now. Who knows when it's coming out? Probably next year though. And if they don't focus on making that fight absolutely gas, we're gonna have a problem. There is no reason that fight shouldn't at least be a 40-minute special or a 2-episode thing. It doesn't. The Rurouni Kenshin remake is getting its Season 3. It was announced at AJ25 with a special trailer, and with no further context to that, I want to give this props. For a remake that's probably not necessary. It seems a lot of you guys really like it. I'm glad. I think a show like this doing well in today's climate is such a positive thing for the medium. Do you guys remember what I was saying about Chitose and the Ramune bottle? How if we knew it was going to be another generic harem romance, that we could tell. Tune into the Midnight Heart is exactly what I am talking about. Yeah, it looks kind of cute, or like pretty. It looks like another typical Gooner show. I don't... What do you want me to even say? I guess visually it looks better than the things that come before it. But the trailer even shows that it's not fully animated. Or I hope it's not fully animated. I mean, this is not a good representation of what a finished product would look like. So if it is, that's very unfortunate. The trailer is giving an okay vibe, but if this is all it has to offer and the animation can't back that up, it's going to be a bit of a difficult watch. Not that harems aren't already difficult watches. And speaking of a difficult watch, Tokyo Revengers Season 3 gave us a little visual teaser, and honestly, for anyone reading the manga, this arc does kind of seem neat. I might need to go and watch a little bit of that. And speaking of things that are kind of fun to watch, fighting game tournaments. Young Ladies Don't Play Fighting Games got a little bit of extra information at AJ25, and we can probably expect late 2026 for this to come out, but this has some potential. If anime can make me even a little bit entertained by golf? Just imagine how sick a fighting game anime could be. I'm in. Where do I sign up? 2 more, we're almost done. Oshi No Ko Season 3 revealed their new visual and a little trailer. And this can hardly be called a trailer, let's be honest, guys. And the fact that the premiere is supposed to be in 2026. And I'll give you a little hard read right now, because I'd be pretty shocked if this and Coat Season 4 both don't drop in the winter season. At the very latest, spring. It would be surprising if Coat dropped in spring though, but I'll talk about that after. Oshi No Ko had this cute little eye mascot hold up the YouTube play button because their YouTube channel had finally reached 1 million subscribers, which has some slightly adorable content on there. I just had a brief look before I went back to recording. It might be something to check out. I don't really know if you can get good English subtitles, but there's some vibes here, dude. And this isn't relevant, but just for your information, you know, a little FYI if you would. But Oshi No Ko has a little live action thing going on. I guess I'll call it a J-drama, is able to be watched on Prime. So if you're into sort of a K-drama thing, maybe give this a watch. I think I might. It doesn't look very high budget. It doesn't really look good at all. I think it might just be funny to watch. But the Oshi No Ko panel at AJ25 seems super wholesome. If you just have the patience to go and kind of watch something or have something on in the background, there probably is some vibes there that even if you can't understand what's going on, you might have fun with it. And here we have made it. Classroom of the Elite. Season 4. Hearing that this was going to have an announcement at AJ25 and being encouraged to read what people kept yapping about with volume 12.5, it made me want to talk about it too. Reading the few volumes that I did, I know I said I don't like reading, but I had to see what was going on. But I couldn't stop after I started. I for real was seeing what y'all were talking about with that light novel shit, bruh. They were low-key cooking. Wait, no. They were high-key cooking with year 2. And then the event, where we got the Year 2 trailer for the anime, as well as the trailer for the Year 3 Volume 1 light novel, which reminded us of a different event. I can probably say, maybe not confidently, but for the anime-only watchers, there's a lot of things that the light novel does that gets left out in the anime. I would assume it has to do with pacing. A book just has more time to tell things that a show can't in 12 20-minute episodes, which does make for a better viewing experience. Point is, I'm not sure the anime will be able to find time to incorporate that scene that I'm referring to, but I hope they do. I would really like to see how they direct that scene in the anime. But unless Year 2 is going to be another multi-season thing, it probably won't be in the anime, which we don't even know how long Season 4 is gonna be, and Anime Expo only told us that Crunchyroll announced it's coming soon, which is stupidly unhelpful. AJ25, on the other hand, teased us with the title Second Year Arc, First Semester Begins, which maybe implies multiple seasons, but I have no clue. I don't work here. And as a consumer buying the same product you are, I don't know why you guys are getting so upset about this damn animation. Yeah, they look a little younger, so it might be a little jarring since we had a different look beforehand, but guys, they're high schoolers. They shouldn't have looked like this in the first place. Just because your high school ass looks like a school shooter doesn't mean everybody else looks like that. As far as I'm concerned, people in the show and the book always make him out to be very unassuming. And you have like 3 seconds of screen time with this character. Everybody else's design looks cool. I need to stop. If I keep going, this is gonna add like another 15 minutes of runtime, but I'm so glad that they announced this so soon. I'm glad that we're not going on another break. I know that the writer was struggling to get stuff out, but he's back, baby. So to conclude, I think the character designs and animation all look very good, and those that like Classroom of the Elite should be very excited for this, and should ignore any diehard fans. And this last thing, like I was talking about during the Oshi No Ko bit, I would be very shocked if Coat doesn't drop by winter of next year, but if it doesn't, the latest summer, I can't imagine it dropping in fall of this year, and spring would be unprecedented with the way that they've released before, but who knows? That Crunchyroll announcement might prove me wrong. Guys, it's been a long ride, but we did it. We finally finished every single anime that was announced at AJ25. There's a few I missed, but like I said at the beginning, they're not relevant. If I'm being 100% honest, there's a few shows I didn't even consider adding. I just think some of them didn't have enough weight or relevance to the point I'm trying to make. But then that completely defeats the purpose of what I'm trying to do, to see if anime is back. And for me, the answer is probably not. Ultimately, that is subjective. A lot of people have been getting involved in anime over the last 10 years, so clearly they are doing something right. Just not for me. I'd say this year, and it's probably more accurate to say this summer, Japan has taken a step in the right direction towards making anime more watchable, at least for me. I know a few of my friends don't agree, but my fucking friends have terrible anime takes. They're action-only watchers, and their opinions should be... I'm messing with y'all. I think that is the problem, though. There just is not enough diversity in the anime that is being released this year to really tell me, yeah, they got it figured out. Because they don't. I mean, the isekais are still coming out. They need to go away. AnimeJapan did not showcase a lot of them, but it was still enough to make me crash out. And until they start releasing good ones that are actually unique and have some depth to them and aren't just headcanon power fantasies, there is not a world that I will consider them a watchable genre. So if you like slice of life, this year cooked. If you don't, then you're cooked. But for slice of life, I'm not gonna lie, I think that they have completely stepped it up in that regard. I think most of those shows are very watchable, but not everybody likes that kind of content, and the content that they're getting is still part of the problem. And the way this problem gets fixed is they have a year where it's either seasonally or they have it in the same season, that there's a balance between each type of genre where everyone has something to watch on the day. Obviously, that's not the most possible thing, but if Cloverworks is gonna release 3 romance animes in a single season, and they also release on the same day, I think we can get an action, a romance, a slice of life, or a fantasy. You get the point. I want more options, and I want the shows that have already started to actually get finished. I don't need them releasing an anime to a manga that's always going on an indefinite hiatus. And I definitely don't want them repeating what they did to Tokyo Ghoul Season 2 and The Promised Neverland Season 2. These animation directors, if they're the ones that do it, need to stop taking the creative liberty to write their own story. I assume it's corporate, though, trying to ration the budget, but they can stop too. I'm sorry, but if you can't adapt the source material, don't. You're ruining someone's hard work and disappointing an entire fan base. In conclusion, since I think that slice of life is the only thing I really took away from this year, a lot of the ones released in spring were very well made. They had such a good vibe, or had fun characters, or had such an easygoing story that when I turned it on, I was able to relax immediately. And for the romance animes that are just releasing across the year, a good majority of them have managed to show a lot more personality visually, where I think shows among the same genre had their ambiance feeling flat or was lacking in something visually. There's some isolated gems here and there, but the only thing that was stand out was the slice of life or romance. At least to me. If I had a single word to make me think anime is back, it would be variety, which this year just does not have. 2026 has potential for that though, and I think this year is a step in the right direction. If you managed to get to here, thank you. I put a lot of time into making this. So if you did enjoy anything that I said or took anything away, feel free to do all 3, but the view was enough. I will be releasing more regularly. This was just a nice to meet you on social. You can expect more of me, and thanks for watching.